don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
I admit to always improving.
Get your words straight, Jack.
Dumb people, liberal people can...
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ, only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ. I went in yesterday and there was a television screen and I said, this is genius.
Honestly, Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy. Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes.
They're coming all over the place.
I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa. He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes. Really? And I resent.
Are you talking about Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm talking about my son, Beau Biden. You're talking about.
I don't know, Beau. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. It wasn't dishonorably.
Cocaine use, and he didn't have a job until you became vice president.
Force the vote, sure, was a failure.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
You're not like some.
Here I am, Nancy Pelosi, saying this country needs a strong Republican Party, and we do.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you'd like to see, help out. If not, vote for the other Biden.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
I mean, the fossil fuel industry, they weigh in so significantly. I mean, how could it be?
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic in-style-ation of the Goddamn. I am here once again to do a program today, and so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a program today. I've got a whole show. It's lined up, and we're going to be doing the show. So, hello. All right. We got some users in the chat. People are using the chat room to express their opinions. So it appears, by my calculation, Johnny Too Late is first. We got Human Love Solidarity second. Real and third. Andrew Kohler fourth. So the top four users, they made it. They made it. And so they made it. And we also have more users here as well, but those are the people that arrived before the show started. Those are the best students in the class. Because, you got to show up at 9:59. Because if you don't, you might miss it when I'm late. So, and you don't want to miss it when I'm late, because then you get to make fun of me. But I was not late today. I was early. And so I started the show, and now we're here. So we started the program, and I got some water. How do I know? I just scroll up. I use the power of the scroll wheel. Whoa. Whoa! Science has gone too far. All right. So I've got a show for you. We're going to be talking about some guy named Joe. I don't know why we're going to be talking about him today, but we will be. Some dude named Joe. Not to be confused with Joe Schmo. But I believe he's like Joe Jr. or something like that. I don't know. We're going to talk about that guy. We're going to be talking about the United States of America. Huh? Not bad, right? It's a decent country. We're going to be talking about some mass shootings. I love mass shootings. I live for mass shootings. Honestly, I mean, waking up every day, the first thing I think is, all right, let me check the latest mass shooting. This is what I do when I wake up. Oh, How many people died yesterday? Oh, wait, there's one going on right now. It's 7 a.m. Whoa, mass shootings. Love mass shootings. I'm a huge fan of the mass shootings. Though, you know, they call them mass shootings, but are there ever really shootings during mass? There are, but that's a bad joke. But anyway, so we're going to talk about mass shootings. There's just so fucking many. I don't know, man. There's so fucking many. There were like 4 mass shootings yesterday or some shit. There was like South Carolina. There was like Oklahoma. There's so many fucking mass shootings. There was like a high school somewhere where there was a shooting. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, so the United States of America is... it exists, and, well, not for long, because of all these fucking mass shootings. I don't even know, man. This is crazy. I remember last year, there were so many mass shootings during the summertime, and people chalked it up to, like, COVID anxiety or something. So, I don't know, what's the excuse now? The mass shootings kept going. Everyone's just pretending COVID's over, so... I don't know, man, but we'll get into some mass shootings because there's a couple that I'm going to be talking about. That's the thing. Like, 10 years ago, you say mass shooting, everyone knows which one you're talking about. You have no idea which one I'm talking about. You don't, like, you think you might know. Oh, is this bitch going to talk about this mass shooting? No, I'm going to talk about that mass shooting. Yeah, that's right. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Speaking of insane, this is a poll from a couple weeks ago, but I want to start my show with this. 2 in 10 Americans say the United States is headed in the right direction, poll shows. This is from May 20th, a couple weeks ago. But I think it's a good way to start this program. By the way, I don't know if you can hear traffic in the background. I have my windows open because it's hot. All right. Fewer and fewer Americans are saying the United States is on the right track, or that the economy is in good shape as inflation soars, according to a new poll. A recent survey done by the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Research found that just 21% of adults believe the U.S. is going in the right direction, down from 29% in April. If anyone knows, if anyone can find one of these Americans that thinks America is going in the right direction, invite them on my show. I want to talk to one of these motherfuckers. Like, I want to sit down and do like a 6-hour interview with some of these motherfuckers. Like, imagine someone calls you up on the phone, right? They call you up. Hi, I'm with polling or with NORC. Right? I'm like, okay, let's do a poll. And they're like, so how, do you think the United States is going in the right direction? Well, gee willikers, yes I do. I think the United States is going in the best direction we ever seen. What the fuck? Like, imagine... Like, I would love to talk to these people. Like, I feel like we could all learn a lot if we talk to some of these motherfuckers. But anyway, even Democrats are losing hope, with only 33% saying the U.S. is headed in the right direction compared to 49% a month ago and 55% in March. Oh! Americans were only slightly more optimistic about the economy, with a mere 22% describing it as very good. What kind of stupid, dumb fuck motherfucker looks at everything going on in the world and is like, you know, the economy right now, doing really well. Like, what? Like, I mean, again, it's insane.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
It's insane. Jesus Christ. The remaining 78% say that the economy is very poor, somewhat poor, or leaning toward poor. What's the fact say, by the way? By the way, this fucking photo of Biden, I've never seen this before. Wow, that's amazing. I'm going to steal this. Hold up. That is an incredible photo. That's incredible. Is anyone seeing this photo? That is insane. Anyway, Joe Biden approval rating going down to 2 in 10 Americans think the United States is heading in the right direction. I mean, again, the country's falling apart. And the thing is, like, again, like, you ask people why they think the country's going in the wrong direction, I'm sure you're going to get, like, 16,000 different fucking answers. You ask, like, a fucking Republican, country's going in the wrong direction, you got no demon worshiping Democrat going goddamn guns away, and then the goddamn tranny groomers goddamn turn wrong direction, goddamn, you know, and then you talk to a Democrat, and they're like, yeah, I think the country's going in the wrong direction because, you know, the goddamn mass shootings and shit. I mean, they're at least closer to the truth, right? But it's like, you know, again, like, a lot of people think the country's going in a bad direction, but how many of them, like, I would love to talk to those people. Like, why would a Republican think the country's going in the wrong direction? Because, like, Joe Biden's president, is that it? We got a dog here, by the way. We got a dog! Whenever I do, like, the loud, obnoxious screeching, Max is like, whoa, I gotta go make sure she's okay. But I mean, like, seriously, I would love if this was a little bit more granular. But, you know, the thing we're driving home here is that we're fucked. And just to be very clear, because I have to say it, not in the good dick way. So, there you go. So, America going down the tubes. We got a coffee cup. We got a coffee cup here, and it's actually got some coffee in it. A little bit. Got a coffee cup. The squirrel. Bruh, this shit never tells me when you're live. Luckily, for you, I'm live the same day, same time every day. 10 a.m. every day. Noon on the weekends. Would I like to see America collapse? I mean, America collapsing is going to kill a lot of people. So would I like to see it? No. But do I predict that it will happen? Probably. Black coffee, puking emoji. You know someone... Now, again, I don't... Alright, you triggered me, so...
Only the really... I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Anyone that doesn't drink black coffee. Now, every once in a while, I'll put some unsweetened soy milk or oat milk or whatever in my coffee. Every once in a while, as a treat. But who are these fucking asshole, fuckface, douchebag, loser motherfuckers that are like, I need my coffee with 2 spoonfuls of sugar. I want my coffee with 6 creamers and 3 spoonfuls. Who puts fucking sugar in their coffee? Like, I mean, seriously, man. That is some low IQ shit. Like, you need to have, like, shit leaking out of your ears if you would ever even conceive of putting sugar in your coffee. Now, again, every once in a while, you know what? I'm out and about. I'm in the city. You know, I'm in the city. Oh, there's a coffee shop I've never heard of because I don't go to Starbucks or anything like that. You know, I'd only go to, like, non-chain coffee shops, right? Okay. So there's a coffee shop that's local to where I live. Let's go in there and, you know, get, like, a specialty just to see what and watch them whip it up and stuff, and that's fun. But, like, man, these motherfuckers that put milk and cream and sugar in their fucking coffee, and that's, like, a daily thing. Right, like, in the, you know, like, the people that with the little packets, and they go, like, right, like, and then they get their little stupid dumb fuck straw. Like, by the way, like, hello, you're wasting those straws. Like, why do you need those straws? Just drink it black, and then you don't need those stupid fucking weird straws. Right, and you go, like, right, like, fuck you. Fuck you. Milk does not... First of all, milk doesn't belong anywhere except in cheese. The only good thing about milk is cheese. Okay? That's it. Nothing else. But again, cream? You're gonna put cream in your fucking goddamn coffee? What is that? Are you eating pie for breakfast every day? What the fuck is the matter with these motherfuckers? Seriously. Black coffee is the only coffee. Now again, every once in a while... Right? Every once in a while, I'll put some milk in my coffee. You know, unsweetened soy milk, of course. But, like, I can't drink my coffee black! You don't have a caffeine addiction, asshole. You've got a sugar addiction. You fucking morons. You stupid fucking pricks. And you know what? I've been biting my tongue for too long on this one. You know what? If someone calls me up and say, do you think America's going down the tubes? Like, do you think America is declining? We're going in the wrong direction? I'm going to say yes, but not because of inflation, okay? Not because of the war in Ukraine, not because of mass shootings, but because of these asshole, fuck face, shit for brains motherfuckers that put bullshit in their coffee. Coffee is designed, meant to be drank, I don't know, black. That's it. Now again, as a treat, every once in a while, okay, fine. But if that's your daily routine, right, and you're like, oh, I can't see, I'm so tired, oh, and then you go to the fridge and get your stupid fucking shit-fucked store brand creamer, oh, and you get your fucking Milkies because you're a fucking loser. Who drinks milk? Seriously, who drinks, like, dairy milk, cow milk? What the fuck is the matter with you? Are you 6 years old in the 1930s? Like, what the fuck? People still drink milk in this country? What the fuck? Jesus, goddamn Christ. We got some dumbass motherfuckers out here. Dumbass motherfuckers. Jesus, what is this, the fucking Great Depression? What the fuck is the matter with you motherfuckers drinking milk? Milk has no nutrients. Milk is garbage for you. Oh, but it's got calcium. You know what else has calcium? Fucking vegetables, you fucking douchebag. Oh, it's got vitamins. You know what else has vitamins? Vegetables, you fucking douchebag. Fuck milk. Fuck you, drink your coffee black, or suck my goddamn cock. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on coffee. So let's drink some more coffee. USA was doing war crimes way before Russia, bro. Russia is becoming us. I disagree with that. I think Russia has existed longer than the United States. Like, Russia has been doing war crimes since, like, the fucking 15th fucking century, dude. Like, I don't know, man. Anyway, so we got a show going on here. So we got this guy. This is an article that is going to be really fun. This is a really fun fucking article. Inside a Biden White House adrift. This is going to be fun. That's all I can say. Amid a rolling series of calamities and sinking approval ratings, the president's feeling lately is that he just can't catch a break, and that angst is rippling through his party. This is great. Washington. Faced with a worsening political predicament, President Joe Biden is pressing aides for a more compelling message and sharper strategy, while bristling at how they've tried to stifle the plain-speaking persona that has long been one of his most potent assets. Potent assets? What? Biden is rattled by his sinking approval ratings and is looking to regain voters' confidence that he can provide the sure-handed leadership he promised during the campaign, people close to the president say. This is great. I love this because it's like Joe Biden doing nothing. He stands there and does nothing. And then he's like, why don't anybody like me? You're like, it's like he thinks people don't like him because like he's doing gaffes or something, and sometimes like his staff is like mixed messaging. People don't like you because you're not doing anything. It's that simple. Sign an executive order that legalizes marijuana. You literally campaigned on that fucking shit, dude. You literally campaigned on legalizing, decriminalizing marijuana nationwide. That was part of his fucking platform. And it can be done without Congress. It's insane, right? Like, so again, like this guy, why don't anybody like me? Jesus, fuck all, fuck. crises have piled up in ways that have at times made the Biden White House look flat-footed. Why are they so, like, that's no reason to, like, attack people with flat feet. That's a serious medical condition. Record inflation, high gas prices, a rise in COVID case numbers, and now a Texas school massacre that is one more horrific reminder that he has been unable to get Congress to pass legislation to curb gun violence. Democratic leaders are at a loss about how he can revive his prospects by November when midterm elections may cost his party control of Congress. This, you know what's insane to me? Well, actually, let's read this quote first. "I don't know what's required here," said Rep. James Clyburn, whose endorsement in the 2020 primaries helped rescue Biden's struggling candidacy. "But I do know these poll numbers have been stuck where they are for far too long." Now, I just want to say, this is the most truthful thing that Jim fucking fuckface shit for brains, fuck, motherfuck, I wish this guy would... This is the most truthful thing he's probably ever said in his entire life. I don't know what's required here! No shit, dude! No goddamn fucking shit, you don't know what's fucking required here. Jim Clyburn, enemy of America? If you were to, like analyze the 2020 primaries in a historical lens, Jim Clyburn, Elizabeth Warren, Barack Obama, these are the people that destroyed this country. Like, when you really think about it. Like, where are these motherfuckers? Bernie would never be able to govern. Bernie can't govern, but you gotta vote for Joe because you can get those Republicans in track. Gotta vote for Joe because he knows how the Senate works. Bernie ain't know how the Senate works. You gotta vote for Joe. That's what these motherfuckers were telling us 2 years ago. Now, I don't fucking know, bro. What do you got? Don't know what's required here. That's insane. That's insane. Like, well, I don't know. Again, executive order. You can't get Congress to do anything. Legalize marijuana. Reschedule it to nothing. He literally can't. Kamala Harris, they sent Kamala Harris to the heavily black neighborhoods to do rallies where she would tell people we're going to decriminalize cannabis nationwide. Interesting, by the way. And then they just forgot. Whoops. Don't slip my mind. And there's a lot of things they can do with executive order, like student loan debt and so forth. They're just choosing not to. This is like the fucking, like the meme, right? Where it zooms in on the kid with the boot in their face. And then the second panel is it zooms out and the kid's got the boot in their hand, like doing it to themselves. That's the Joe Biden presidency right now. How come nobody likes me? Oh! How about you watch literally one of your 2020 campaign speeches? Just watch one, and that'll remind you why the fuck we put you in office, you fucking douchebag. Jesus goddamn fucking Christ. And then again, Democratic Party leaders don't know what's going on. No shit. You think Nancy Pelosi, who as of a week ago was saying this fucking shit? Like, Jesus.
Here I am, Nancy Pelosi, saying this country needs a strong Republican Party, and we do.
You think she knows what the fuck's going on? These fucking people are ridiculous, man. These are the people, again, the United States, before the United States became a country, and after the United States became a country, there was a concept known as the tar and feather. When you were acting like a fucking moron and the public decided you were a fucking nuisance, they would cover you in tar and feather you and then just make you walk around town looking like a dumbass. What happened to that? Let's be honest. What happened to the tar and feather? And can we do something about this? Can we bring this back? If I ever run for any political office, I'm going to run, right, on tar and feathering these fucking moron politicians. Because goddamn, that's insane. Like, I mean, like, There's no accountability. These motherfuckers never face the consequences for their actions. It's just the poor people that have to face the consequences. They're just so horrible. They're so horrible. But anyway, this article it gets better. A West Wing shakeup? Speculation is churning that Biden could shake up the West Wing staff. Although, that's not about to happen right away. Multiple people close to the White House said they've heard that Chief of Staff Ron Klain will depart at some point after the midterms. And one has heard him discuss leaving. Should Klain go, a potential successor is Anita Dunn, a White House advisor and Biden confidant whom he often turns to when his fortunes look bleak. Dunn began working at the White House at the start of the term, then left and returned in early May at Biden's specific request. No woman or person of color has ever been the White House Chief of Staff since the position was created after World War II. I'm sure, like, changing the Chief of Staff is going to save the sinking ship, right? I like all of y'all motherfuckers freaking out about tar and feathering. Like, I'm aware of what tar and feathering's historical purpose is. I'm aware, okay, motherfucker? Then why do you think I said it? Anyway, other possible replacements include Steve Ricchetti, a longtime Biden aide, who's a counselor to the president, and Susan Rice, the domestic policy chief. After he lost the Virginia governor's race last year, Terry McAuliffe spoke to the White House about taking a senior role as an advisor to the president, cabinet secretary, or chief of staff. People familiar with the matter said. People familiar with the matter. I love the lingo that these motherfuckers use. Like, we can't name anyone's names. It's just this person is someone who's familiar with the matter. The White House didn't make Klain or Dunn available for comment. Remy Yamamoto, a senior White House communications advisor, said, as Ron has said publicly, he has not set a time frame, and this is not a discussion on top of anyone's minds here. The article is based on interviews with more than 24 current and former administration officials, lawmakers, congressional aides, and other Democrats close to the White House who spoke on the condition of anonymity to freely discuss the president's private conversations. Any assessment of Biden's performance needs to take into account the epic challenges he faced from the start. Yeah, guess what? That's why we elected Biden as president. The American people were like, Donald Trump, probably not the best guy to be handling COVID and all these other issues. Let's get literally anyone else. And then Joe Biden was like, I'm your guy. I'm literally someone else. So then we voted for Joe Biden. And then, question mark, did he forget? Like, did he forget why we voted for him? Like, hello? Hello? Like, what a fucking dumbass. Like, no shit. You literally... Remember when Joe Biden was like, the reason I ran in the first place is because of Charlottesville. And he's doing nothing about right-wing violence. He's doing nothing about mass shootings. He's doing nothing about... What? You know what I mean? It's crazy. They came in with the most daunting set of challenges, arguably since FDR, only to then be hit by a perfect storm of crises, from Ukraine to inflation to the supply chain to baby formula, said Chris Whipple. Now that's a name. I'm going to change my last name to Whipple. Said Chris Whipple, the author of a book about White House Chief of Staff, who is now writing a book about the Biden presidency. What's next? Locusts? You know, the thing about these so-called crises is they're only happening because Joe Biden is not doing anything. If Joe Biden were to have done literally anything, inflation wouldn't be a problem. The supply chain wouldn't be a problem. COVID wouldn't be a problem. If we had properly funded all of these things a year ago, a year and a half ago, they wouldn't be crises. The crises right now of inflation and the supply chain and all that stuff is literally Biden's fault. Biden, on day one of him being in office during the American Rescue Plan, should have had a lot of funding to beef up the supply chain. anyone who knows anything about economics, even some shit fuck high school dropout like myself, would know that a pandemic is going to slow down the supply chain. And so maybe you should proactively do a mass hiring program to get more people to fill in the gaps. Maybe, but they did nothing. They did nothing. This is not like just, oh, there's a hurricane and we can't do anything. These are disasters, some of which are literally created by this presidency. Like, I mean, like, yes, COVID, that's a Trump problem. But what has Biden done on COVID? Nothing. He's done nothing. He declared victory 6,000 times. And now we're in the middle of another wave. And no one has any data because the CDC is just covering up all the information. So, like, the one major thing that Trump fucked up and Biden said, I'm going to fix that. He's literally running to the right of Donald Trump on at this point. I mean, like, honestly, look at the CDC, look at the shit that they're posting on Twitter, look at their fucking press briefings, and tell me that that's not something Donald Trump would do. I don't know, man. Biden wonders the same thing. Look at this sad sack. Who is this? Ron Klain? Look at this sad sack. This guy looks like he's about to fall over. Oh! I've heard him say recently that he used to say about President Obama's tenure that everything landed on his desk but locusts. And now he understands how that feels, a White House official said. Jesus. Managerial breakdowns. Amid a rolling series of calamities, Biden's feeling lately is that he just can't catch a break. Biden is frustrated. If it's not one thing, it's another, said a person close to the president. Again, why is Biden acting defensively? He's not even acting defensively. He has no defense, right? But, like, he should be proactively trying to prevent crises from emerging, right? That's what the president should be doing. The president has access to all the information that we have access to, and then some. And yet, the president just found out about the baby formula shortage, like, 4 months after it was widely publicized in the news. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be reactive, but even if you are going to be defensive and reactive, at least have a defense. So not only are they not defensive, they're not proactive, they're not offensive, they're just sitting there. Like Biden's like, you might as well start a podcast. Like, he's not doing anything at all. Look, today is day whatever the fuck of my presidency, and I'd like to announce that I'm doing nothing. That's right, everybody. And then he just, like, does a podcast about, like, cars or something. I mean, that would make his approval rating go up. If he just did a podcast about, like, something he likes, like cars, like, I know he likes cars. And if he just did a podcast about cars and trains, I guarantee you his approval rating would go up, right? Like, he's not doing anything, so you might as well, like, make content out of the fact that you're not doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? An assumption baked into Biden's candidacy was that he would preside over a smoothly running administration by dint of the decades of experience in public office. Yet, there are signs of managerial breakdowns that have angered both him and his party. You know what? Here's an example. Remember when Biden was like, the USPS! Trump's trying to destroy the USPS with this Louis DeJoy guy! And then, here we are, a year and a half into Biden's presidency, and there's going to be an event at the White House. They're going to celebrate Nancy Reagan stamps, and Louis DeJoy is going to show up. So, 2 years ago, Louis DeJoy was a threat to democracy. Now, he's got the power to replace him. But he's not. He just doesn't care. He just doesn't give a shit. Right? And then he's going to be like, oh, my FDA is slowed down because Trump got rid of all the good guys. And you have the power to appoint better guys. Like, again, like, we're not, like, this isn't, like, the third week of the Biden administration, and we're still dealing with the fucking shitfuck of Trump, and we haven't had enough time to do anything. We've had plenty of time for Biden to do literally anything at all about the administrative breakdown of this country. And he's just done nothing. He's just winging it. Biden is annoyed that he wasn't alerted sooner about the baby formula shortage, and that he got his first briefing in the past month. Even though the crisis had long been in the making. The White House didn't specify when Biden got his first briefing on the formula shortage. His nominee to head the Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Robert Califf, told Congress last week the agency was sluggish and that it had made suboptimal decisions as parents hunted for formula on empty store shelves. So I have a question. Why his nominee to head the Food and Drug Administration. Why isn't this guy already the head of the Food and Drug Administration? And why wasn't he installed in February of 2021? I'm just wondering. What did they spend all of this time during the transition doing? Like, don't you have a transition team that's supposed to, like, find people to do this kind of stuff? Why are we now learning that the FDA is in shambles? Why didn't you do something about it in February or January of 2021? That should have been like a day one priority. You have all your nominations set up and ready to go. Beyond policy, Biden is unhappy about a pattern that has developed inside the West Wing. He makes a clear and succinct statement, only to have aides rush to explain that he actually meant something else. The so-called cleanup campaign, as he has told advisors, undermines him and smothers the authenticity that fueled his rise. Worse, it feeds a Republican talking point that he's not fully in command. All right. You want to act like you're fully in command? Great. Sign an executive order decriminalizing cannabis nationwide. I'm ready. Let's do it. Like, that's the one thing that Joe Biden is interesting on, right? Is that people view him as, like, folksy, you know?
Get your words straight, Jack.
But it's just like, okay, the folksy can only go so far. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's assume this cleanup campaign isn't a thing. Does he think that that is going to make his approval rating go up? Like, that is the least important thing out of all of this. Is that, oh, people just they're not aware of how folksy I can be. That is the least important thing on this list right now. The issue came to a head when Biden ad-libbed during a speech in Poland that Russian President Vladimir Putin cannot remain in power, which, by the way, I thought that was pretty funny. Within minutes, Biden's aides tried to walk back his comments, saying he hadn't called for Putin's removal and that U.S. policy was unchanged. Biden was furious that his remarks were being seen as unreliable, arguing that he speaks genuinely and reminding his staff that he's the one who's president. Okay, someone you don't like does something, get rid of him. Right? Like, okay, they're undermining your authenticity. Great. Get rid of them. Do something. Asked about the staff's practice of clarifying Biden's remarks, the official said, "We don't say anything the president doesn't want us to say." So his staff is going rogue. His staff literally is like, no, Joe Biden's lying. He wants us to do this, but he's telling everyone else no. So someone's telling the truth and someone's lying. Democrats unnerved. Biden's angst is rippling through the party. Democratic lawmakers are sparring among themselves and blaming the White House for their dim prospects in November. I want to remind everyone, the Democratic Speaker of the House endorsed someone with an A rating from the NRA who is anti-abortion in a primary and has been running around the country saying this.
Hey, here I am, Nancy Pelosi, saying this country needs a strong Republican Party, and we do.
So, it's not just the White House. The idea that someone like Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer are going to blame the White House. Have you, thought of assuming leadership? There's a vacuum right now. Chuck Schumer, this is your chance to shine. You're the most coherent of the three Democratic leaders. Biden, Pelosi, Schumer. He is, let's be real. Chuck Schumer, not so good. But he at least can string a sentence together. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest about this. Chuck fucking motherfuck. Do something. This is your time to shine. You're the fucking majority leader in the Senate. Do something. Biden's not going to do something. Pelosi's only making this fucking shit worse. Rep. Stephanie Murphy, D-Fla, said the White House has failed to put forward what she called an intellectually honest plan to combat inflation, a burden that ranks first among Americans' economic concerns, polling indicates. A bill the House passed to crack down on alleged gas price gouging isn't an answer, she said. What? That is absolutely an answer. If I sound frustrated, it's because I hear from my constituents. Like, what do you, like, wouldn't you want to ban price gouging? What does that mean? That's not the answer. The answer is not just doing it for gas prices, but doing it for food, doing it for electricity, doing it for, I don't know, like everything else that we have to deal with, medicine, prescription drugs, right? Like, we could be doing anti-price gouging measures on everything. So, and that of course, the one Democrat they interview is like, yeah, the one thing that the people have proposed that would actually help, I don't want that. Like, this is fucking insane, man. This shit is insane. It's crazy. Okay. A spokeswoman for her office said she hasn't talked about policy with a senior White House official in 6 months. The White House official countered that Murphy has been in very regular contact with our staff here. How about instead of bickering like fucking children, how about you do something? Anything. Like at all. One thing. Like, we're talking about one thing. What is the last thing that this fucking administration did that was even remotely interesting? The American Rescue Plan. When was that? More than a fucking year ago? And then you get these fucking stupid fucking shit fuck motherfucking people. What about the bipartisan infrastructure? Bipartisan infrastructure! That shit's fucking garbage. It's a corporate handout bill that's not even going to fix any fucking bridge in the country. Not going to fix the water crisis in this country. Not going to fix the food supply crisis in this country. Fuck the fucking infrastructure bill. That was shit. That was just like a big piece of paper that said, we're going to give all of our money to corporations, but in bold print at the top, it says bipartisan infrastructure. And then 90% of Americans are fucking stupid, so they hear bipartisan, they think, might be good, right? And then liberals are like, oh yeah, we've passed them, it's infrastructure week. Is the water quality going up in this country? When was that shit passed? Like in November? September? When did they pass the bipartisan infrastructure package? Has water quality increased in this country? No. Has road quality increased in this country? No. Has telecommunications networks increased in quality in this country? No. Huh? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Alright, let's keep going. This is great. I'm having fun here. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but this is the main story that I want to talk about today because it's hilarious. Biden has vented to aides about not getting credit from Americans or the news media for actions he believes have helped the country, particularly on the economy. Unemployment rates have dropped to below 4%, pre-pandemic levels, but polling indicates most Americans believe the economy is in bad shape. Biden grouses that Republicans aren't getting their share of the blame for legislative gridlock in Congress, while he's repeatedly faulted for not getting his agenda passed. There's two things I want to talk about here. One, unemployment rate doesn't fucking mean anything. Oh, it's back to pre-pandemic levels. If people are getting fired or losing their jobs throughout the pandemic, let's say someone is paid $13 an hour, they lose their job, right? They're on unemployment, they get a new job, and it's minimum wage, $7.25 an hour, because we haven't fucking improved the minimum wage, because the parliamentarian said $15 is too much. The parliamentarian, so we couldn't do the minimum wage hike. So if someone loses their job and gets a job that pays worse, or someone now, they had one job and now they have a second job, well, the jobs have increased. Biden literally thinks that's a good thing. It's like when George fucking Bush was like someone asked George Bush, I have to work 3 jobs to make ends meet. And then George Bush was like, ain't that uniquely American? Heck yeah. Gotta work 3 jobs. Good for jobs numbers going up. Good job. What? But they actually think unemployment rate means anything. They actually think that. They literally think the unemployment rate is like the metric of how you judge the economy. What the fuck? What? Right, but then we also have Biden grouses that Republicans aren't getting their share of blame for legislative gridlock in Congress. Again, Joe Biden is going out there saying, I think Mitch McConnell's a rational Republican. Meanwhile, Mitch McConnell has openly said his entire goal for the first, half of Biden's term is to block everything he can, utilizing the filibuster, right? So, but Joe Biden's going out there saying, I love Mitch McConnell. Joe Biden's saying, the fever will break. The Republicans are sane and rational. Trust me, bro. So when you go out there and tell people the Republicans, they'll fall in line. Trust me. 6 months later, they'll fall in line. Trust me. By the way, Mitch McConnell, he's a great guy. They'll fall in line. Trust me. The Republicans are rational. They're rational. Don't worry. Trump's gone. The Republicans are real rational people. And now all of a sudden, he's like, why ain't anybody blaming the goddamn Republicans? Maybe you should go out there and say the Republicans are fucking morons, they're crazy, and by the way, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, they're basically Republicans, and this is why I'm announcing today that I'm calling to expel them from the Democratic Party, at least call them what they are. They're blocking my fucking agenda through and through. They won't do fucking anything. They're not letting me do anything, so go to the fucking Republican Party, and then we'll run against the Republicans as a unified Democratic Party in the midterms. But he's not going to do that, because that would require doing something. That would require doing literally anything at all, like one thing. He's now lower than Trump, and he's really twisted about it, another person close to the White House said. This is a great image. Like, is he asleep or is he just fucking depressed? At a meeting with advisors about a month ago, Biden was surprised to see polling that indicated he had dropped among suburban women. According to two people familiar with the meeting, an advisor said Biden gets weekly polling briefings that delve into key demographics, and that because he is kept apprised regularly, he didn't have that reaction. At a news conference in September, Biden said flatly, I don't look at the polls. Not a joke. But, okay, so he doesn't look at the polls, and yet he gets weekly polling updates. Interesting. Interesting. The White House official denied that Biden is feeling frustrated. What he's pushing for is to make a sharper case for all that we have accomplished thus far. What have we accomplished? What have you done? One thing! The American Rescue Plan. That's it! That's the only thing that this administration has actually done. And when was that? Oh, right. About 1.5 years ago. And tell me, what are the provisions of the American Rescue Plan that we're still benefiting from? Because last time I checked, child tax credit, gone. Stimulus check, now they're blaming that for inflation, right? So they're making people think that we shouldn't have even gotten in the first place. They're lying to people about that, right? Unemployment benefits, gone. So, okay, the one thing you did, it's over. You can't just, we gave you some money 1.5 years ago, and now you don't have any money because of inflation, and we're not doing anything about inflation. So we gave you some money, and then all these corporations stole all your money, but... And don't you like us? It's insane. A few weeks ago, Biden started employing a midterm election tactic that has been a go-to for sitting presidents: villainize the opposition. He has sought to tether Republicans to Trump's Make America Great Again agenda, but Biden has been leaning on White House aides to come up with a message that captures the stark choices voters face. Biden himself thought up the phrase ultra MAGA, which he and other Democrats have started using in hopes of drawing a clear contrast with Trump's movement. This shit's amazing. Like, these motherfuckers are insane. The phrase tested well in polling reviewed by the White House. Oh, really? Okay, interesting. But it also had the unintended effect of firing up Trump's faithful. Merchandisers have found a hot market for Ultra MAGA t-shirts. He shares the view that we haven't landed on a winning midterm message, a third person close to the White House said of the president, and he's putting a lot of pressure on people to... That's the best he got. Oh, I don't know. We'll call him Ultra MAGA. I mean, again, man. I mean, again,
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
No reprieve ahead. One of Biden's prescriptions for his political troubles at the start of his new year was to travel outside of Washington more. As he has gotten out of the country, he has also gotten an earful from Democrats about what his administration is or isn't doing. People confront him, said a top Democratic donor who has witnessed such conversations at fundraisers. All he's hearing is, why can't you get anything done? Well, I'm glad people are asking him that question, but maybe he should think about providing an answer. It's no wonder about 3/4 of Americans believe the country is on the wrong track. A recent NBC News poll found only the 5th time in the last 34 years that so many Americans have been dissatisfied with the nation's direction. There is no respite after the midterms. 2024 presidential election season begins in earnest once the last races are called. No sitting president wants to be challenged for the party's nomination. Biden can't count on a free ride. We're on track. We're on a track, a losing track, Faiz Shakir, a senior advisor to Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, said of the Democrats. That's true. That's the one true thing that we've seen in this article from a Democratic strategist of some kind. These motherfuckers, man. Like, I mean, again, this shit is hilarious. And the reason why I read this entire article is because, one, I think it's funny. And two, it really illustrates that the Democratic Party leadership is not only are they worse, or not only are they doing nothing, but they're doing worse than nothing. Like, again, Nancy Pelosi is spending millions of dollars fundraising and endorsing pro-NRA, anti-abortion candidates. She's going around begging the Republican Party to get stronger. Right? She's going around like saying that any good legislation that people would bring up can't do it. Chuck Schumer, I mean, like, is Chuck Schumer even alive? Like, have you seen anything from Chuck Schumer at all in, like, the last year? He's done nothing. And Joe Biden is asleep at the wheel. The entire Democratic Party leadership is fucking garbage. And everyone else in the party is afraid to say anything. AOC, like, a couple weeks ago, was like, Democratic Party leadership is bad. Great. Continue on that track. Why does she only say that every once in a while? She should be going on television every day, doing podcasts and Instagram lives every day saying Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Biden are fucking garbage, and we need to fucking move past that fucking ancient fucking shitfuck leadership. That's what she should be doing. I'm glad she's the only one in the entire world who's actually called anyone out at all. But do it a little bit more. Everyone knows that the Democratic Party leadership is garbage. But the rest of the party is afraid to say anything. And that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Look at what happened to Madison Cawthorn. Madison Cawthorn said something that was really funny. That, oh, yeah, I got invited to a cocaine orgy. And you know what the fucking Republican Party did? They fucking destroyed him. They fucking ended his career forever. Because he slightly deviated from marching in lockstep. Take a fucking hint. That's how politics fucking works. This shit is embarrassing. I am embarrassed to be an American. I have to tell you, I am embarrassed to be an American. Without a doubt. People ask me, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from America. And they're like, ugh. And I don't blame them. What a fucking hellhole. But anyway, that's funny as hell. Anyway, in some lighter news, it was just madness inside. Gunman kills 4 people at Tulsa hospital complex. So I read this, and my response, because I'm a rational person, is why did those nurses and doctors and those secretaries let this happen? Did they leave the door open? Why wasn't the secretary well trained in firearms? Why wasn't every doctor also trained in how to be a SWAT officer? I think what we need to do is call up our local representatives and our national representatives and demand, folks, we got to demand that to be a doctor or a nurse or a secretary, you need to go through 5 years of SWAT training, because otherwise they're going to let this stuff happen. Those shitty ass doctors and nurses, how dare they leave the door open? Obviously, I'm being facetious. 4 people were killed in Tulsa on Wednesday after a gunman, who was later found dead, opened fire on the 2nd floor of a medical building, authorities in Oklahoma said. It was just madness inside, with hundreds of rooms and hundreds of people trying to get out of the building, Tulsa Police Captain Richard Middleberg told CNN. The mass shooting is among the latest instances nationwide. By the way, among the latest. Note this language. Among the latest. Why does it say among the latest? Because there were like 2 other mass shootings that happened yesterday. That's why it says among the latest. Instances nationwide of first responders and civilians coming face to face with the threat of gun violence in public spaces. It comes more than 2 weeks after a racist assault at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York, and a bloody attack at a church in California, and 8 days after a heartbreaking massacre at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. Now again, I'm teasing up a little bit here, but this is guns for teachers. Ohio State House passes bill. DeWine looks forward to signing it. Little outdated. This is from yesterday. A little outdated. When are we going to see the fucking bills? Guns for nurses. Guns for doctors. Guns for secretaries. Republicans, their solution to mass shootings is to blame the teachers and say that they should have been more trained in firearms. And now they're going to pass legislation to do that. But what about the nurses and doctors? What about the grocery store bagger? When you're at the fucking supermarket in Buffalo, shouldn't all the baggers have fucking, like, revolvers and shotguns? Why isn't the fucking person in the bakery, during, like, in between, you know, working at, you know, baking cakes, they should be cleaning out rifles? What the fuck? What the fuck? This country, I mean, again, I'm sorry, I can't, I've lost it. I just want to say, I have lost it. I can't even pretend to be offended anymore at this country. This is just funny. This is funny stuff. This is funny. I mean, I'm sorry, maybe I'm being a little heartless, but fuck.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
This is just hilarious. Senate goes on recess after the Uvalde shooting. Schumer and Biden say there's nothing we can do. Meanwhile, in Ohio, guns for teachers. I'm excited to give rifles to every single second grade teacher. This is hilarious. We have to be honest about this shit. This is the funniest fucking shit in the world. And you know what? I don't just blame the politicians. I blame the Americans. Americans are fucking stupid. Let's be real. Let's be real. The American population, let's be honest. Look at the fucking voting record of the average American. I mean, first of all, most people don't even bother voting. These fucking uppity, pretentious douchebags that go like, oh, both parties suck and the country sucks, so I'm not gonna bother voting. Like, it's one thing, right, if you, like, you know, live in a heavily black neighborhood in Texas, for example, and you can't get any time off of your job, and you see that the voting line is going to take 6 hours, and you're literally just unable to vote because the state is repressing your ability to vote. That's one thing. I'm not blaming those people, right? That's why I vote, because I know that certain people in minority districts are getting their right to vote stripped away from them. That's why, for me, voting is even more important. For me, I don't have a day job. If I have to take the whole day off to stand in line to vote, you know what, motherfucker? I'm going to do it. Why? Because I care about people that can't. People that gotten felony convictions for, like, marijuana possession, right? I care about those people that can't vote. But what about all these other people that can vote but choose not to? They deserve it. They fucking deserve that shit. Oh, I'll go around thinking I'm better than everybody, so I don't vote. Oh no, my kid died in a mass shooting. Well, gee willikers, if only someone would have done something. Go fuck yourself. And Republicans that vote for these motherfuckers, go fuck yourself. America deserves mass shootings. Let's be honest. Now, the poor don't, the minorities don't, right? The people typically that get targeted don't deserve it, right? But America, as a concept, as a whole, Jesus Christ, man. Let's be real. This is all manufactured by us, by this country. No one fucking reads. No one learns. No one studies new things. No one cares to learn about the world. No one fucking cares at all to fix anything. Anything. Our leaders don't care, but who put our leaders there? The shit-fuck voters. What happened, by the way? Remember when we all voted for fucking Joe Biden? And people were talking about electoral college reform. Electoral college reform. We don't want anyone to ever win the presidency with not having the popular vote. What happened to that? What about the Supreme Court? What about the Senate? Is anyone going to talk about abolishing these shitfuck institutions? You know who's on the Supreme Court? You know the conservatives on the Supreme Court? Most of them were appointed by a president that didn't win the popular vote. Isn't that insane? Isn't that insane? Most of the people that are conservatives on the court were installed by the losers. Like, it's insane! But this is what we do. This is what we do in this country. The Senate is 50-50. But the Democratic Party represents 40 million more constituents. But they're 50-50. Let's talk about uncapping the House. What the fuck is this 435 shit? That's not in the Constitution. That's some garbage. But some stupid motherfuckers, I think maybe in the 1920s or whatever, decided, let's put a cap on how many people are allowed to be in Congress. We should be having thousands of representatives. Representation was designed to go up. More representatives would be added as the population increases. That's in the Constitution. We got to uncap the House too. Get rid of the Senate, get rid of the Supreme Court, uncap the House. Is anyone going to do that? No. But no one cares. No one cares. No one gives a fuck. Jesus, motherfuck. Americans are the most selfish fucking losers on planet Earth. And again, I'm not talking about the poor and the downtrodden, right? Because I'm poor, I'm the downtrodden, right? So I know I care a lot. And the people that are affected the most by this country's fucking garbage are very, 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 very passionate about these issues. But we're talking about the people that they've still got blinders on. They don't care. Oh, supermarket down the street. Well, I wasn't there shopping, so I don't care. Oh, elementary school the next town over, just 19 kids massive. Well, I don't care because my kid's not in that school. Like seriously, how the fuck are we living in a country where like 60% of the people just don't vote? How the fuck are we living in that country? Jesus goddamn Christ. Jesus goddamn fucking Christ. Yeah, I'm tired of blaming politicians. I want to blame some fucking shitfuck American voters. I want to blame these fucking moron, brainwashed losers. Motherfucker, we've got the internet. What's your fucking excuse? Oh, what's your fucking excuse for not learning about this government? What's your excuse for not voting for candidates that are going to actually better us? What's your excuse? I don't have time. Make time, motherfucker. Let's be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. If you've got a kid and you don't vote, or you vote for Republican, or you vote for shitty conservative Democrats, fuck you. Fuck you. Because guess what? I don't care if you're working 2 fucking jobs. You've got a child. You brought a fucking child into this fucking country. And you're not going to do anything at all about making sure that child's going to fucking survive? If you've got a kid and you don't have time to learn about voting, fuck you, okay? Fuck you. And again, people that have time to educate people, where the fuck are you? Why aren't you educating people? You should be knocking on doors, just educating parents on what the fuck's going on in this country. And I'm talking to myself here too. This is why I do a fucking show online. Because I want people to be able to find something entertaining in their free time. And I want them to learn from entertainment. That's what I want to do. Right? That's my role. That's what I've decided to do. Is I want to entertain people and also wake them the fuck up as to what's going on in this country. I have a lot of people that tell me, I don't have time to learn, but you make learning things about like cooking interesting. You make learning about politics interesting. And that to me, wow, that's an amazing compliment. But we need more people to do that. Right? It's a two-pronged approach. But again, I'm thinking about, I've got 3 kids and I'm just going to like raise them in a country where the more kids die in this country in shootings than police die in this country in shootings. You know what I mean? Like, one, why are you having kids in this country? Huh? What the fuck? What? Oh, because I want a child. How fucking selfish are you, motherfucker? How about you fix the fucking country before you bring a fucking kid into this world? And I'm talking to my parents on this one. What the fuck were you thinking? I don't want to deal with this fucking shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Let's get back on this article. I'm sorry for going off on a little rant there, but I'm just so sick of this. I'm so sick of everyone's complaints and crying. Everyone's got to blame someone else. Everyone blames everyone else. No one takes fucking responsibility. This fucking shit sucks, man. Law enforcement received a call just before 5 p.m. Wednesday about a person with a firearm at the Natalie Medical Building, a physician's office facility on the campus of St. Francis Hospital. Tulsa Police Deputy Chief Eric Dalglish said at a news conference. Responding officers who arrived within minutes were hearing shots in the building, and that's what directed them to the second floor. The gunman was found dead by police as they worked their way inside the building, Muhlenberg said, and has not been publicly identified. Police identified the gunman's fatal wounds were self-inflicted, and 2 firearms described by Muhlenberg as semi-automatic rifle and a semi-automatic pistol, believed to have been used in the shooting, were found next to him. 2 of the deceased were found in the same room as the gunman. So why don't all the nurses and doctors have guns? You know what we got to do? When you go to medical school, you have to learn how to be a ninja too. You got to learn like kung fu. You got to learn how to like fucking like, you know, run on the walls and ceilings and shit. You got to like become Spider-Man if you want to be a doctor, because otherwise we're not going to stop the flow of guns. Police certainly aren't going to do anything in time. So the only way we're going to deal with this is by making all of our doctors part-time ninjas. I mean, seriously, can you come up with a better option? Like, let's be honest. Like, let's be real. We're fucked. We are fucked. This country's fucked. It's over. It's done. This is what we're in right now. Is like the house of cards is already falling. Like no amount of like, if I just make this slight adjustment, if I pick this card up, if I hold it here, no amount of coping is going to make the house of cards stay alive. The house of cards is crumbling. It's over. We've already lost. It's done. It's done. It's over. Game, set, match. We're just watching the end. Like, you know, when like you're playing a fucking like, you know, a competitive game, like let's say chess, for example, and you know you're going to win and your opponent knows you're going to win in 3 turns, right? But you play out the turns anyway, right? Just for fun. You just play it out. You don't need to play it out. Everyone knows you won. Your opponent knows you won. You know you won, but you play it out anyway. That's what we're at right now. The country's done. It's over. It's over. It's done. We're just playing it out. So I'm sorry for ranting and raving, but this fucking shit is getting ridiculous. Everyone's to blame. Everyone. I'm not just blaming the politicians, because that's too easy. Everyone knows politicians suck, but how many people are willing to do literally anything about that? Oh, I know politicians are bad. And then that's the end? That's the end of your political activism? You don't care anymore? Politicians are bad. Great. You cracked the fucking code. You figured it out. You gonna do anything about it? All these fucking motherfuckers and their excuses. I got excuses. You got excuses. Everyone's got excuses. But guess what? At some point, we all gotta fucking do something about it. What happened to the energy in 2020? When America saw police brutality and the whole country decided to do nonstop protesting? What happened to that energy? Oh, we tried it and it didn't work, so we give up? I had the most faith in this country during the summer of 2020 than I've ever had and presumably ever will. And what happened? Well, the state solidified its power. The state decided it's not going to do anything to help us. We learned that the state's not going to help us. And then we just fucked off and we went back to doing our regular shit. I don't know, man. We don't have fucking healthcare in this country. What the fuck? We don't have anything. Our schools are garbage. They brainwash our children. Imagine having a child and sending your child to public school and not supplementing that with anything else. Like, imagine, there's a lot of great teachers out there, but let's be honest. A lot of these Republicans are making schools so unbearable to be in with these CRT laws, and you're not allowed to say this about that, and censorship everywhere, banning books all over the place. They're fucking with public education, and yet people are... And if you don't send your child to school, you get police officers to fucking smash your door down? You know what I mean? Like, this fucking country is fucking shit. It is garbage. It is garbage. Everyone in this country is garbage to some degree. We are produced by garbage. We are raised by garbage. We are raised to become garbage. And then we pass the garbage on to the next generation. Oh, we have a kid. My job is done. What the fuck? If you have a child, you should be even more upset about what's happening in this country. You should be even more inclined to do something about it in your spare time. And I understand capitalism makes us so that we don't have any spare time. I fucking get it. But we're in the fucking loop. When are we gonna break the loop? We're in a fucking perfect fucking circle. And we gotta get out of the fucking circle. There's mass shootings in this country every single day. Every day! Every single day there's a mass shooting in this country. Every day. Is anyone going to do anything about it? Anyone? Guess what? The shooters are going to do something about it. They're going to learn, oh shit, I got free reign. The shooters are going to learn America's never going to learn their lesson. I can plan a shooting for 6 more months. They won't do anything. And then my shooting's going to be even more insane and more fun. That's what the shooters are learning. The shooters are learning the lessons. Are you? It's insane. It's fucking insane. Fewer than 10 people suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Well, I'm glad that they're not life-threatening. But I am just so sick of this fucking shit. And again, I'm just going to make this part of the same segment. Look at what fucking Republicans are doing. Guns for teachers. Ohio State House passes bill. DeWine looks forward to signing it. An Ohio bill allowing education staff to carry guns in school with reduced training is on its way. Reduced training. That's what you want. More guns, less training. More guns, less training. What could possibly go wrong? The bill, House Bill 99, allows any adult in public or private school to carry a concealed firearm in the school's safety zone if the district chooses to do so with 737 hours of peace officer training required by current law. Without the 737 hours. More guns, less training. Ship it. This fucking country, man. Holy shit. So anyway, Hopefully I didn't trigger too many people in the chat room. You know, I don't, you know, sometimes it's a healthy dose of triggering. You know, I want to always be like a couple steps over the line. That's my goal. I don't want to be on one side of the line. I want to get people emotionally unstable. I want to make people upset. And then I want their upsetness to be weaponized in a useful direction. That's what I want. So, that's, hey, I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm going to drink some water. So, in summary, I hate America and I hate Americans. Oh my God. I feel like nothing matters. Let it all burn to hell. Nah. I mean, it's factually true that nothing matters. That is factually correct. But as a human being, I want my species to fucking prosper. I want my species to be successful. Call me crazy. I want to see the best in every human. I want every single person I ever interact with to be a better person as a result of interacting with me. I want to create the best in people. I want people to start thinking. I want people to start doing. I want people to study. I want people to fix their lives. You know, I want people to get out of bad habits. I want people to kick their addictions that they don't want or need. I want people to make their lives better. That's what I want. I want that for everyone. I want that for fucking stupid motherfuckers. I want that for evil motherfuckers. I want them all to improve their lives, and I want them all to be better people. That's it. That's the goal. Am I under an illusion that that's going to happen? Or that there's going to be a critical mass that's going to create a better world? Probably not. But I'm at least going to fucking try. Anyway, let's get into the movie review portion of the show. Hit the like button. Like the stream, folks. There's no other choice. If you don't like the stream, then, I mean, let's be honest.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
All right, let's get into the movie review portion of the program. Just where I gotta find a button. Okay. I love buttons. So the other day, actually, let me open up the. So the other day, I watched a film. That's right, a film. And I watched Blade 2. So I watched Blade 2 because I watched Blade let me describe the domino effect here. So I watched Blade because it's in the leaving Netflix at the end of the month category. And I was like, okay, never seen it. Seems interesting. I know there's a PS1 game of Blade, so I love the PS1. So Blade must be interesting. And then Netflix also had Blade 2 and Blade 3. So I watched Blade 2. And I've got a list of complaints. First of all, the best character in the movie is the stoner, and they make him a bad guy. Spoiler alert, by the way. They make him a fucking bad guy. This motherfucker's entire character is you smoking weed and coughing, and the whole movie is like, oh, I'm on drugs. And they make him a fucking bad guy. They make him a turncoat. What the fuck? I'm pissed. All right. So anyway, that's my only complaint. So the movie is basically, you got like the list, you got like you got the vampires, and then you got like a new kind of vampire. Like, it's like Vampire 2, right? And they're called the Reapers. They're like super vampires or whatever, and they feed on the vampires, right? So, and then like the vampires are like, oh fuck, these motherfuckers are gonna kill us all, and so and then they're like, oh, let's see if Blade wants to help us out a little bit. Blade, by the way, has killed thousands of vampires or whatever. So the vampires enlist Blade, right? The enemy of my enemy or whatever bullshit. And then we get like a super squad of like vampires called like the Blood Pact or some shit or whatever, right? And one of the things I like about this movie is like the first time like the Blood Pact or whatever it is, in Blade, like whatever squad they have going on, the first time they interact with the Reapers, they get owned. Like one of them gets bit, like I think one of them else dies, right? Like they're all fucking stupid. And they just get destroyed. They get owned, right? And then Blade has to do all the fucking work, right? And so that's cool. That's fun. But then, they find out, oh, wait a second. The Reapers, they were created by the vampires to troll Blade. Just to get Blade to put his guard down. And then, like, the weed smoker guy was turned out to be a spy the whole time. By the way, there's ninjas in this movie, too, I think. I don't know, man. That shit's crazy. But Blade 2... I thought it was fun. I think the atmosphere and the pacing of Blade is superior. But, like, this movie is a lot more campy. It's a lot more, like, just like, there's just superhero violence. I don't watch superhero movies. I'm going to be honest. I've never seen a single superhero movie other than, like, Spider-Man, like the Tobey ones when I was young. And so, Blade 2, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's not as good as the first one. But, it's enjoy. If you watch the first one, you might as well watch Blade 2, right? Like, why not, right? Like, why wouldn't you? That's my thing. But then, like, in my opinion, the villain in the first movie is way better than the villain in the second movie, like the Reaper guys. And then you have, like, the vampire overlord. It's whatever. But yeah, the movie is fun. Like, again, this isn't a genre that I particularly am interested in, but, I gave it a shoot. Never really, I don't know much about vampire movies, but I'd say it's decent. I don't know. I can't compare it to anything because this is the first vampire movie I've seen besides Nosferatu, and the first superhero movie I've seen since I watched Spider-Man in theaters when I was like fucking 6 years old or whatever it was. So I don't know, man. Decent. It's fun. It's fun. I like the weed guy. I was like, oh shit, that's me. And then, wait a second, no, he's a bad guy. Like, what fucking bullshit is that, man? That's some bull. Why you make the pothead the bad guy? It would have been better if he, like, died or something and he was still a good guy. So anyway, that's my complaint. It's a good movie. It's okay. If you watch the first one, I think the first one is good. If you watch the first one, you might as well watch the second one. It's just more of the action. It's good. It's worth it. Why not? Why not? It's my thing. Why not? You're already in the water, go into the deep end. That's my mentality. And so on that note, going into the deep end, right? I love the deep end. I love going into the deep end. Also watch Blade 3, also known as Blade Trinity. And I gotta be honest, this movie significantly better than Blade 2. I will be honest. When I watched Blade 1 and did a review, a couple people in my chat were like, don't watch Blade 3. This one was way better than Blade 2. Way better, by an order of magnitude, I will say. Right? Like, Blade 2 goes for, like, that weird action adventure, but like kind of like super like seriousness thing going on. Blade 3 is like, we're just gonna throw the seriousness out the window. This is a comic, like action, cheesy goofball. Everyone's gonna kick and punch each other, and they're gonna jump around like crazy people, right? So anyway, first of all, Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds. He's hilarious in this movie, and also he takes his shirt off several times. So I'm into it. That alone, I'm in. You don't need to tell me anything else, and this is the best Blade movie, right? So the villain in this one, honestly, probably the weakest of the villains. He's supposed to be like the Dracula, aka Drake or something, right? And he's just kind of a goofball, right? I like the scene where Blade is chasing him through like the buildings, and they have that long chase, right? And they go through buildings and jump from the roof and the windows and all blah, right? And so I think that part's cool, but like overall, the villains in this movie, they kind of suck, right? They're just like, oh, we're the vampires. And then you've got like, what is it, like the night crawlers or whatever, like Ryan Reynolds' like group or whatever that just, like Blade and like Whistler, which by the way, like is dead now, right? Like, they didn't know that there's night crawlers, like there's other group that exists. They kind of just write like, oh yeah, and by the way, I'm like your old friend who's dead now, Whistler's like child that he forgot about, and I started a group of vampire hunters. Sorry we didn't help you out in Blade 1 and Blade 2. Sorry about that, but now we're going to help you out. So anyway, so Blade 3 starts and like he's chasing some vampires, and then he gets filmed by a vampire killing a human, and then the FBI is like chasing him down, and then he gets stuck, right, in some interrogation room, and then Ryan Reynolds just bursts through the window and saves his ass. Is it Night Stalkers? Nightcrawler? I don't know. But anyway, I thought the movie was fun. This was way more fun than Blade 2, in my opinion. Like, the campiness was turned up to 11, right? Like, the cartoonishness was turned up to 11. And that's what I like, right? Like, if you're going to go for something, go in all the way or don't even bother. I thought Blade 2 was a little too much in the serious angle and the cartoony angle, and it was like a little bit straddling that line. Blade 1, I think, was more in that seriousness angle, and, Blade 3 just makes the transition over. Yeah, this is a comic book movie, motherfucker. We're going to have some fun fight scenes. The story, don't take it too seriously, and let's just have a good time. I enjoyed this one way more than Blade 2, I will say. But I still think Blade 1 is the best of the movies. But again, shirtless Ryan Reynolds. I mean, you can't, I don't know, man. Like, that's a really tough thing to contribute or to compete with. And, the characters, the Night Crawlers, Stalkers, I don't know what the fuck they're called. They're okay. Most of them are just filler. Like, you got, like, this whole team, and then, like, Dracula comes in and, like, kills half of them. And it's like, okay. All right, they're dead now. I don't know, man. Whatever. It was fun. I don't watch superhero movies. That's not my thing. But maybe I'll get into it. Why not? But Blade 3, Blade Trinity, whatever, I enjoyed it more than Blade 2. Again, it's a good movie. It's fun to watch. Each movie has its own niche. This, if you like it, you like it. I don't know. I turned it on, watched it, was high, and it was enjoyable. And then I turned it off and went to sleep. It's that simple. But would you consider me a Blade fan? Probably not. But, they're okay. They're good. If you're watching movies, watch them. If you're not watching movies, probably skip them because you're not watching movies. So why would you watch them if you're not watching movies? But anyway, there you go. That's Blade 2 and 3 reviewed. And I watched them on Netflix, and they're gone. They're no longer on Netflix because the rights or whatever. And don't even get me started on that fucking shit. I don't want to talk about that right now, but goddamn. Anyway, there you go. That's the movie review portion of the program. Sorry, but I think Blade Trinity is awful. Triple H is horrendous. What do you mean it's awful? Shirtless fucking Ryan Reynolds. That's it. That trumps anything you want to say to me. Parker Posey. Who's Parker Posey? Oh. Right, that character. Is she a TERF, really? That's unfortunate. I looked it up, and apparently there's someone named Posey Parker that's a TERF. It's possible they're both TERFs. It's possible. But it could be mistaken identity. Yeah, I want to watch Deadpool. That might be next on my list. I don't know where I can watch it yet, but that's got Ryan Reynolds in it, who I'm a fan of. Oh, apparently it's on Amazon for free. Excellent. Anyway, that's the show. That is the program. Tomorrow, theoretically, assuming that I don't spontaneously combust or otherwise die in some unfortunate incident, I am planning on uploading Cooking with the Bitch for this week. I'm planning on filming it immediately upon exiting the stream because I'm hungry. I also have to pee, but that's a whole different thing. And so check in tomorrow for that. That will be fun. And so, I know I got a little bit off the handle today, but, fuck them. This is cathartic for me. I can't afford therapy. I'm an American, so what do? I rant and rave on the internet to like 40 people that listen with one of their ears, There you go. And so that's my goal. Thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their day as much as you possibly can. Try to avoid going outside, right? You don't want to get COVID, and you don't want to get shot by a crazy motherfucker, right? So I'm just saying, stay inside. As much as you can, as long as you can help it, stay the fuck home. Not only for COVID's sake, but there's fucking shooters literally in every state in the country, and there's probably one happening right now. So I'm just saying, stay the fucking home and binge watch my YouTube videos. Thank you, and goodbye.
The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right? They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint when they thought about it. Because whoever thought of that idea, I think is in big trouble. I went in yesterday and there was a television screen and I said, this is genius.
I mean, the fossil fuel industry, they weigh in so significantly. I mean, how could it be?
The truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines and that they're defective devices, okay?
Dub is a shit fuck, cringe tour, etc., etc.
$7 million for reef fish management. $25 billion to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.